I just went through it from money to get. And then that customer fee where it's going. I don't know about that.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll call this February 27th, 2024 meeting to order at 8:30. Chair will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. I'll make a motion to, Chair will make a motion to approve the agenda or the consent agenda A through Q.
Second.
Any further discussion? I was looking through there. The only thing I would maybe point out is Q. Can't really read that on the screen there, so I'll tell you. It's the memo of understanding between the Board of County Commissioners and City Council regarding legal services for participation in the PUC hearings. And so this is where the Moffett County Commissioners and the City Council are working together to try to work to go to the PUC with Tri-State to try to get the best bang for our buck, I guess, as they're going to close and negotiations and those type of things. So we're working together. We hired attorneys and all that stuff. So just for clarification on Q. So, all right, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. All right, so we will go to public comment. Public comment is we ask you to come to the front, state your name, that you live in Moffett County or the city of Craig, and we ask you, you have 3 minutes. Aaron will let you know what it is. This isn't a time where the commissioners and the people have a conversation, but we hear what you have to say, and then if you would like to stay afterwards, we would definitely be able to have a conversation afterwards. So anybody here for public comment? Cedar, you want to come? Yeah.
Well, good morning to all.
Morning.
I'm Isidro Quesada and I'm living Cray for quite a while. I think most of the people know me, for coal mining and live right here in this beautiful Cray. What I need a little help for Laurie Simpson Park soccer field. If any way is possible in the summer, we need new signs over there, new rules, big garbage container. A little bit more support from the county about, rules, four-wheelers that want to the field and, bottles, alcohol be in the field, and we need to make a better rule or do something about that.
Okay.
And pets in the soccer field, so,
You say pets?
yeah, dogs and, some people take a lot of dogs and some of the people don't believe clean after the dogs,
Gotcha.
so it's a problem. In the summer, when we have soccer games, we need a little bit more patrol for for some of the reasons, sometimes people from outside, they go party. They don't have anything to do with soccer, but they go spend the day over there and that look the things bad for us. So, well, thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
So
Isidro.
I'm staying until after the meeting. and
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment this morning? One more time. Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate it. Any general discussion from the commissioners?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to item number one. It is to appoint the seat for, we'll start with Area Council on Aging. We got a letter of interest.
Yep, we actually still have some openings on that board too, so if anybody else is interested in joining that board, we could certainly use some extra help. But Becky Plummer has put in that she would be interested in serving on that board. And Mr. Chair, I would move to appoint Becky Plummer to the Area Council on Aging.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Always appreciate when somebody steps to the plate to sit on a board. Much needed for sure, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I'll just note that that only gives us two people on that board and it's kind of hard for two volunteers to do everything together, so more help would be appreciated.
All right, so then this next is, to appoint someone, appoint the seat for Library Board of Trustees. We have a letter of interest there.
Point. Yeah, the Lowther, is that how you pronounce that? To the library board.
Second.
Motion and second to appoint Kathy Lowther to Library Board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Great. All right. Agenda item number 2 is Moffett County Resolution 2024-34, declaring Moffett County as a non-sanctuary county, setting priorities and expectations in response to the immigration influx. Really, this kind of came about, and I'll let Mel talk, but we received an email stating that Mesa County and Garfield County and Routt County were sanctuary counties and cities. And, I thought Routt County might be. I mean, that's not probably fits a little bit, but I knew Mesa County and Garfield County probably doesn't fit into what they do. And so I sent them an email and the commissioners there and said, man, you guys a sanctuary city? And they said, absolutely not. What happened for Mesa County for sure is in 2014, the sheriff set a resolution kind of helping to detain and help with ICE. And it kind of set the sanctuary deal. So right away, Cody Davis and the commissioners in Mesa County set a resolution, and this is kind of part of that resolution of what we're adopting today, making the statement that, listen, you know, we don't have the ability or the resources to help a big influx of immigrants. We just don't have it. We don't have enough resources to help the people in our own community, let alone have a bunch come from outside. So that's kind of where that started, is we didn't understand where that, who all was sanctuary cities, which come to find out Routt County is not, and neither is Garfield County. So.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. Part of the discussion that we had individually with DHS, law enforcement, public health, of kind of what the current needs are in our community and what we're already experiencing, what we're seeing in an increase, law enforcement stopping individuals who don't have licenses, don't have insurance, things like that. So there's kind of already some stuff happening in our community, but it's kind of under the radar. And we felt like as the elected representatives to Moffat County, we have to take fiscal responsibility and make sure that we have good financial health. And when we reviewed the current realities and anticipated some of the issues that they're having in Denver that then are overflowing to smaller cities that then could potentially be overflowing into Moffat County, we wanted to make sure that we had documented that we are not open to additional influx here. I know that the mayor had made a statement, or the governor had made a statement that this isn't Colorado's or Denver's problem. It's Colorado's problem. And in Moffat County, we didn't ask to be a sanctuary city. We have got to meet our budget requirements annually on appropriations. And so we wanted to make a clear statement that we can't take additional need on our resources that are already thin. You'll see in our resolution, and this will be posted on our website as well, some of the statistics that we're looking at this point in time in Moffat County prior to adding any additional need on those resources. So just wanted to put a couple of things down of like where we are in this point in time and why we're making this decision. We're not against people coming into the country legally. We're not against people seeking asylum. We feel like there's a lot happening at the borders that's not captured and now spreading throughout the rest of the United States. And it's our job to secure Moffat County.
You have anything?
Nope. Roll. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-34, declaring Moffat County as a non-sanctuary county, setting priorities and expectations in response to immigration influx.
Second.
Motion and second. Only thing I would add is that there's, you know, the mayor of Denver just took $5 million out of their services. So snow plowing, trash pickup, fixing road service to try to deal with this. And they're saying 5 million is not even going to touch what they have to do. Well, Moffat County and the city of Craig don't got $1 million just to throw at something. So that's not going to be fixed over time. So
They're anticipating a $108 million budget shortfall and still accepting people into Denver.
You know what the number is?
I don't know what the total number is now.
I've heard 60,000.
yeah, I also heard that Craig was getting 600. So I mean, numbers just get floated out there and nobody really knows, I don't think. But all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries. All right, next thing we're going to do is on item number 3 is kind of the same, but it is an adopt a letter to the mayor of Denver regarding Moffett County's non-sanctuary status. You want to read this?
I don't necessarily think we need to read it into the record. We can probably put it on the website, but I think it's just an additional outreach to a fellow elected saying, here's the reasons why we have to state that we're a non-sanctuary city. And when they are anticipating how they're going to plan to move immigrants throughout the state, that they know that this is not one of the places to send them.
Again, that letter, we discussed that, hey, you know, we're about to lose a big percentage of our property tax, and this is the reason. You know, it's not that we don't love people. I mean, we love people. It's simple fact that you just cannot physically do what you can't do, what you can't pay
Can
for.
I make
So,
a suggestion that you also notify your local, what I want to call NGOs, because they're going to be a pain, they're going to be a problem. I'm going to blame the churches. Because they will step up and say, oh, we will do that, and Denver will pay them to do that. So you might want to put a bird in somebody's thought about that as well.
all right, what was your pleasure?
Okay. I make a motion to adopt a letter to the mayor of Denver regarding Moffett County's non-sanctuary status.
Second.
Second. All right, motion in a second. What is your pleasure? Or, I'm sorry, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I know you were shocked that Donald made such a quick.
All right, so we got a public hearing in 1 minute, and so we will get ready to move into public hearing and then continue on with our well, we will go now, so.
He might be in that training.
Sure is.
Yeah, we already, this is second reading, so if you want to go find him, we can just go into public hearing. And if he gets here, he gets here. That's fine, yeah. All right, so let the record show today's posted public hearing regarding ordinance 24-0227. An ordinance repealing any ordinance, amended ordinances, resolutions, or portions thereof concerning the licensing and control of dogs in Moffett County, Colorado. This is the second and final reading. So this item is on today's agenda and was published in Craig Daily Press January 26th and posted on the Moffett County website. Once the public hearing has been declared, I will ask Under Sheriff Chip McIntyre, welcome, sir, to present the ordinance to the Board of County Commissioners. Once the information has been presented, the commissioners may ask questions or make comments. I will then ask the audience if there is anyone who wants to testify either for or against said ordinance. Any citizen of Moffett County may testify once the public hearing has been declared and all the information has been presented. For those who want to testify, you will be asked to approach the commissioner, state your name for the record, and will be given 3 minutes to present your testimony either for or against. The timekeeper will notify the Board of County Commissioners and the speaker that 20 seconds remain before your time is up. No decision will be made during the public hearing. This is an opportunity for any of you to provide testimony in favor or in opposition of the proposed request. The commissioners have the option to ask questions or answer questions related to the topic during the hearing process. Once all testimony has been heard and the public hearing will be declared closed and we will go back to regular session, I will then refer back to the Board of County Commissioners for discussion and a decision said on said proposal. All right, so we will go into public hearing. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning. This is the second reading on ordinance number 2024-0227. As I said in the first reading, we're asking that we repeal this ordinance. In 1978, the All Things Dogs ordinance was first established in Moffett County. Since that time, it's been piecemealed and added too. And really it's quite messy and we just need to clean it up with a new resolution to, make it better for the citizens and for us in enforcing pretty much all things related to dogs in Moffett County. So that's why we've asked for for this ordinance and to repeal, all the previous
Ordinances.
ordinances.
Okay. Becky, you have anything to add?
Just that the current ordinance and all the amendments conflict with each other at some points. So it would be clear, and the Colorado statutes do provide for some penalties through a resolution controlling dogs. So
Hmm.
that's the plan, to have an ordinance that takes everything away that conflicts with each other, that's confusing, and then have a resolution that takes effect tomorrow, clearly after the ordinance takes everything away, and then puts a new plan in place. And the sheriff has asked me to do this and has worked with the language that's preferred by, they have to enforce it all, so.
So the ordinance, just for clarification for everybody that, and myself, the ordinance takes away everything that's been done in the past. The
Yes.
resolution is what we will live by.
Yes, and they're both on your agenda today, but the ordinance needed to come first.
Yep. Yep. Okay, any questions or concerns, thoughts? Okay, thank you guys, and we'll open up the public comment and then we'll go back into the resolution. All right, this time, for the public, if you want to testify either for or against this ordinance, only this ordinance is what we're discussing at this moment. Ordinance 2024-0227, a dog ordinance. This is second and final reading. Removing all other resolutions and ordinances prior to this all the way to 1974 and making it cleaner. So. One more time. Anybody who would like to testify either for or against? All right, well, we will come out of public hearing on this one, and what is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve ordinance 2024-0227, dog control ordinance. Reading.
Second. All right, motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now we will go back into public hearing. And the same rules apply. This has been posted in the paper. We are going to ask Chip to come back for the resolution, or Becky?
Resolution.
Oh, we don't have to go back in public hearing. There we go. It's under public hearing here in my deal. That's all right. So we're back in regular session, actually. Apologize about that. Instead of public hearing. All right. What is your pleasure on the resolution of 2024-30, providing for the licensing and control of dogs in Moffett County, Colorado, and repealing all resolutions or proportions thereof in conflict therein?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve resolution 2024-30.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Thank you, Senor. All right, staff reports. We will start with Road and Bridge. Bid recommendation on mag chloride. Mr. Dan Miller.
Good morning.
Morning.
We got two bids this year for the mag. Last couple of years we only had one, so that's a good thing. But the price has gone up to $1 per gallon was the low bid, $1.09 a gallon was the high bid. So, GMCO out of Rifle was the low bid. It has gone up considerably since last year. It was 88.5 cents a gallon. So we're gonna have a shortfall of about 65,000 gallons from what we had last year. And in years past, the budget has never gone up, but the prices have gone up. So we've narrowed the roads. What we've got mag from 22 feet to 18 feet. We've lowered the concentration, and we're to the point where if we did any more of either of those, it would make the mag ineffective. So we're gonna have to cut roads this year, and we decided to cut County Road 7. That will make up for the shortfall we have and leave us a little bit extra to address some small spots in the county that need mag. So I asked the commission to approve the bid from Jimco out of Rifle, Colorado for $1 a gallon.
That in-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, that includes their freight, right? They
Yeah,
didn't charge us
that's
extra on the
applied.
freight last year as well. Okay.
And that doesn't mean that next year you're not gonna mag 7. I mean, just
Yeah,
means
we'll have
we're
to
not
look
putting
at
it into a
it and see.
rotation or whatever.
Right.
Right. And then also, is this the company that had it last year?
Yes.
They are, that's what I thought.
They seem to be pretty competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Get them a lot. So, Mr. Chair, we'll make a motion to go with the bid recommendation for the 2024 mag chloride bid to GMCO for $1 per gallon.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
Just to save me from having to do the math, we had the budget of what, 500,000 for 2024?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Next on staff reports, we have Road and Bridge Department again, but this time Bruce White. And this is on the bid recommendation of belly dumps.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So in February, we also went out for bid on our belly dump trailers, bottom dump trailers. We got 6 bids on the deal. Our low bid was $219,173.88. This is for 4 trailers. Our high bid was $287,000 and $80.00. It was pretty cut and dried. We recommend we take the low bid from Wagner in Hayden. They're local. They were the low bid. The price for them is $219,173.88, which is $40,826.12 less than the amount that we had budgeted. So we got lucky this year. Came in under on something finally.
Right.
So I guess my question is, you have some trades there or?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. How many trades did you?
we traded 4 trailers.
Four for
Yep.
4. Okay.
And that price is with the trade-in.
Yes.
What are those trailers brand new?
What's that?
What are the trailers brand new? Do you know how much they are?
Oh, I didn't.
With trade-in, they're around 54,000, 55,000
Yeah.
with trade-in?
Yeah.
So man,
And we had a couple old trailers that we got $5,000 a piece for.
Okay.
Or 7,000, and then we had a couple newer trailers that we got almost 20,000 for. So there was a pretty good difference in our trade-ins, but.
all right.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to go with the bid recommendation to Wagner out of Hayden, Colorado for 4 Trail King traders. $219,173.88.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Got $40,000 extra on the mag chloride.
You'll eat it up in parts.
I think he has my trade in the trade.
You'll eat it up in parts.
Yeah, I know. I just have to take from operations somewhere else. All right, item number 7, County Attorney Becky Tyree to talk about or to present resolution 2024-33, a resolution authorizing Vice Chair of Board of County Commissioners to act on behalf of said board in negotiations related to the Tri-State Electric Resource Plan hearing in the PUC, including authorization to sign contracts relating to such hearings.
That's a
Wow,
mouthful.
it's a mouthful. Yes.
That is a mouthful. This resolution would authorize the vice chair of the board, Melody Villard, to negotiate with regard to what you mentioned in the consent agenda earlier, the memo of understanding between BCC and Craig City Council, legal services for participation in PUC hearings. The county and the city have gone together and hired a law firm to represent both those entities at the PUC hearings with Tri-State. And because open meetings require 24 hours advance notice and posting, it's simpler to have one commissioner appointed to represent, and Melody Villard has been going to, I believe, every update on this. So she's well informed. And the statutes authorize the commissioners to delegate that and authorize one person to act on their behalf. This also has included authorization for the vice chair to sign contracts up to $25,000. And the statutes specify if there's contracts being signed, the amount of the contract has to be specified as well. And some of the funding for this, I understand, is for this whole intervention is provided by the Office of Just Transition. So this is not the county going out on its own. There is financial help, which isn't really in this resolution, but it's just background.
I think it's the reason Mel's doing this is that she has been at most of those side meetings representing Moffett County with Jeff. And so, for Donald or I to take this on, we're gonna have to go to her anyway to get the information it's just gonna be in. And the big thing is, I think it's important, 2 points. One, we say we went in to hire a lawyer, but that did not come out of Moffett County fund. We didn't pay anything for that. OJT paid for those, Just Transition paid for that, for us to hire this lawyer. 2, we are trying not to do special meetings. I think, special meetings kind of get to be where sometimes you have to, your hands are tied, you have to do a special meeting, but to try to publicly notify people and out, 24 hours in advance that we're having this public meeting, they can't get off work, they want to come. We want to be very transparent and not trying to, they had a special meeting to try to slip things by, even though you can check the recordings and all that. But so that's part of the reason we do this. So we're not having those public meetings, on Wednesday when our normal meetings are on Tuesday because something came through. Not saying we're not going to do that because sometimes we have to, but, for the most part, we're trying not to do that. So.
I will point out that if there's some huge contract that comes out of this,
Mm-hmm.
the vice chair is only authorized to do up to 25,000. It would come back to you. It would be a meeting, but your normal meetings are every 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
that's fairly restrictive.
All right, what is our pleasure?
Hey, Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-33.
Second.
And you did do the reading on that.
Yeah,
first,
yep.
Okay.
Motion and second. I think we discussed it pretty good, so. Yeah. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Becky. Appreciate it. All right. Couple more items here. Next is Craig Moffett County Airport, Candace Miller. And talk about the airport apron seal coating project and award bid recommendation.
Yeah, there is some ARPA money available to the airport. And so one of the projects we talked about was piggybacking on the runway rehabilitation and doing an apron seal coat. So we went out to bid. I worked with Armstrong Consulting, our consulting firm that we've used for many years to get some bids for the seal coat of the entire apron. Bid opening was in December. It was in front of the airport board a few times. They all did agree in January to move forward with the low bid from CR Contracting. All three bids came from out-of-state companies that specialize in airport paving runway services. So the low bid came in at 72,698. And you'll see you have, what did I say?
72,968.
Oh, yeah, 968. Sorry. I printed it. It's very small. I'm struggling to see it. So we have attached, you'll see there are the bid recommendation from Armstrong. And then your second doc, which was their task order C, is the breakdown of their fees for the consulting fees going out to bid. And then they will also come out, so we'll overlap this in probably early July, within like the first weeks of work on the runway, so we can minimize closure of the airport. So you'll see their outline of their fees, as well as their bid recommendation. And this is funded 100% by ARPA, so nothing's coming out of the county or city budget for this project.
Do we have the bid totals for the other two? Am I missing them?
You might be missing that. I think
Of
she
what the
sent over
difference
the
was?
bid. So the other two bids that came in, so there was three total. We had one for 84,412 and then 85,408.
And then 72.
Yep, 72,968.
Thank you. With our long relationship with Armstrong, we kind of trust what they tell us.
Yes, absolutely. So they'll be doing the seal coat and restripe, and then everything will just be beautiful out there. And, the fact that we get to kind of piggyback on this other project and minimize, downtime for mountain air spray, and then the final product will be a beautiful, shiny new looking runway and apron. So.
Perfect. It's a pleasure. He's done a record today.
He has.
Yeah.
He's probably worn out. Mr. Chair, I would move to defer to my fellow commissioner to move on this item.
The old war of motions.
She doesn't do
No, she referred to you.
it? Oh, well, I'm making a motion to. To go with the bid of the 72,968.
See our contract.
The CR contract.
To see our contract, yes.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, Candace.
Thank you.
All right, now we're on the agenda, last two items, we have presentations. And so first on the item is Colorado Crane Conservation. How are you today? Good to see you again.
Good morning. It's good to see you. So my name is Nancy Merrill. I'm president of the Colorado Crane Conservation Coalition. And I'm here today to ask you kindly to proclaim March 1st through 8th as Greater Sandhill Crane Week in Moffett County. Believe it or not, even with the weather out here, the cranes are on their way back and they should be arriving really any day now. But usually the first week of March is when we see an influx of cranes into Moffett County. And we have a proclamation. Shall I read it or?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Whereas greater sandhill cranes are an iconic species that breed and raise their young in Moffett County as well as stage here in the fall. Whereas greater sandhill cranes are large ancient birds dating back 2.5 million years and are famous for their elaborate dancing and loud bugling calls. Whereas greater sandhill cranes mate for life, show strong commitment to family, and can live for more than 20 years in the wild. Whereas greater sandhill cranes are classified as a Tier 1 species of concern in the state of Colorado. Whereas greater sandhill cranes are wetland dependent and are an ambassador species for wetland habitat and all the wetland creatures found in Moffett County. Whereas greater sandhill cranes from throughout the Rocky Mountain Range stage in Moffett County during the late summer and early fall and are the star of the annual Yampa Valley Crane Festival that brings in hundreds of visitors to our area. Whereas greater sandhill cranes return in early March to Moffett County from their wintering grounds in Arizona and New Mexico. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Moffett County, Colorado, that March 1st through 8th, 2024 be designated as Greater Sandhill Crane Week and urge citizens to welcome the cranes back and to protect crane habitat throughout the Yampa Valley.
Thank you. And you guys also give some scholarships, right?
Right.
To Moffett County High School students. And
That's right. We have a creative arts scholarship contest and we give away, it's open to all high school seniors in Routt and Moffett County. And we give away $10,000 of scholarships to the winners of that contest.
that's great.
We also, at the start of this week, launch a number of our programs. I brought you some literature, if I can bring that up to you. We have a first crane sighting contest, a kids coloring contest, which is available at the Moffett County Library for Moffett County kids,
Thank you.
and a crane photo contest.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Yep.
Mr. Chair, I would move to proclaim the week of March 1st through the 8th, 2024 as the Greater Sandhill Crane Week.
Second. Motion in second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We've done this over the years many times. So, yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, much appreciated. All right, last on the agenda today for presentation is Chris Brannon. And she wants to talk about oaths of office and the Constitution. Please come. If you would state your name and just for the record, just because you weren't on the agenda. Yeah.
My name is Norman Culverwell. I live in Moffett County.
Thank you.
I am Chris Brandon and I live in Moffett County.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Go ahead, Norm.
Well, I have something that's been on my mind that I would like to go that deals specifically with voting machines. And in about 9 months, all of us in the United States of America are going to be faced with a really important and critical election. And since I was a little boy in school, I was taught that the vote in a free and fair election was one of the most important and most basic rights that were given to us as sovereign Americans. And that was probably true up until the introduction of the Dominion voting machines. we should care enough about our elections to disregard the voting machines and put our faith in God and the people in our community and do it the old fashioned way with paper ballots and a manual count. And that way we would have a 1-day election instead of a 1-month election. Look at the money we would save and the fraud that we would prevent. I'm especially aggravated about the unelected director of the Colorado County Clerks Association by the name of Matt Crane, who wants to centralize the control over our elections. The fact that Matt Crane is sending out written communications to the elected officials to brand all dissidents as the enemy is completely unacceptable. Many citizens of Craig and Moffett County have voted or have voiced huge concerns about the voting machines. And even then, the county clerk and the county commissioners have blatantly violated our constitutional rights and renewed the contract for the Dominion machines. I cannot recall ever missing an election in Moffett County, and I cannot recall ever voting for the machines. I personally volunteered to be a poll watcher or a election judge or a ballot counter, prior to the election of 2020, when it was stolen from Donald Trump because of the Dominion machines. And this brings us back to the Declaration of Independence, where it says, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. When where we are now, we are serious about getting rid of the voting machines. Whether you box them up and send them back and demand a refund, or whether you box them up and put them in the closet and make sure they don't get plugged in or used, that's your choice. But something's got to be done. And that's concludes my presentation.
Okay, thank you.
We did some research on some rules and we feel like you're violating our civil action to deprivation of our rights and conspiracy to interfere with the civil law of free voting and the action to neglect and to prevent free voting by having those machines. And if you would like, we have copies of the Constitution, if you guys would like some.
We have, but we could always use.
You
more.
have these?
Yeah.
Okay. So that concludes what I have to say too. If you guys can't get rid of these machines and we'll be back after the presidential primary election to help you remove those machines.
Okay. Well,
That's all we have.
thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening to us and you have a very nice new facility.
Make sure you drive safe going home.
We will.
All right, any further discussion? Anything from the commissioners? All right, so that's things to look into. So at that moment, this meeting's adjourned. Next meeting will be in 2 weeks from today.